I went to a few different colleges, universities, but I ended up one of my last stints was at Stony Brook University, and I had this professor who taught it was like advanced statistics, but it wasn't business statistics. It was like I don't know, some crazy. I'm not a math guy, but I had to take it, right? And one of the things that he did really well was he was like a really good motivator, talker, helped really people figure out what they wanted to do. And I don't remember why he was just a statistics professor, and I wish I could thank this guy because I still think about this. What he said to the class was, you know, you're gonna go out into the world and you're gonna see a lot of people start their own businesses and uh, and find success. And a lot of these people who aren't self-aware are going to find success on accident, and that's going to self-validate them, right? And self-validate their choices, and so they think that they can do it again, and they think they can do it again. And he in essence taught us that like success isn't a validator of the choices that you made, and being self-aware, like you're talking about, and knowing your strengths and weaknesses is something that you can sort of play to and replicate, right? So like it might not be sustainable for you to I'll give my interpretation of it is that you can go to a marketing conference, and I'm talking to you right now. You seem like a great talker, and you can rub elbows with somebody and get a lot of contacts and leads and experience short-term success just from going to one marketing conference, but it drains you, and that's not what you're good at, and that's not what you're comfortable doing. And so if you try to replicate that a bunch of times, you'll either experience the burnout that we're talking about, or, it won't work so well. Maybe the third or the fourth or the fifth time. And then where are you? Like this is all you know, this is what you've invested in, and then you experience failure. So what I'm hearing is self-awareness and knowing what you're good at, knowing what you love to do is ultimately more important than like finding this short-term success, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I think there's so much wisdom in what he taught and then what you obviously took away from it. And then one of the things that I write about and that's important too, and I think it draws into what you're saying here, is that we have to focus on the processes that either bring us to our success or failure rather than focusing on the outcome. And I'll give you a really specific example of that. Because I use a lot of sports examples in that part of the book because, you have this 76ers and you have Bill Belichick and you have Nick Saban and all these guys talk about process. And so in my own trial experience, we had a case early in February of this year that tried, and it was a case that we probably shouldn't have won. My client rear-ended some folks, and like the big question. The case was whether or not the people were hurt or not. They were claiming to be hurt, but were they or weren't they? Because there was no dispute that like she ran into the back of their car. And so we try the case and we win, and we weren't expecting to win. And so, you talk to people about it the next few days and everybody wants to know how it went. And, there's part of you that like really wants to accept this praise. Like, look at this great job we did. But there's another part of me that knows that, a different jury on a different day gets a different result. And it wouldn't have been anything that I did. And so I couldn't really look at that positive outcome as a determiner because it could just as easily have been a negative outcome. What I had to go back and look at and analyze was, okay, what did I do along the way? Did we do all of the right things to put ourselves in this position that ultimately led to a successful outcome? And even if it had been a negative outcome, did we still do the right things? And we just put it in the hands of 12 people and they get to decide. And so for me, I enjoyed the positive outcome. I enjoyed winning that. But it's more important to go back and look and say, okay, what did we do that got us here? Should we do those same things next time? What should we do differently or better? And so as much as you can in those few moments enjoy the result, you still have to go back and look at what got me here. And so whether it's marketing, whether it's, the business aspect of your practice, if you had a, really profitable year, was it happenstance or was it things that you actually did intentionally to achieve those things, and are they replicable? What should you do better or different to maximize that? So focusing on those processes, to me, is more important than the outcome.